To Thursday's edition of Mom Talk TV. I am here with you guys today to share a chocolate chip recipe video, and I have a funny story for you guys. I was in the kitchen and I made my chocolate chip cookies, and I spent 25 minutes doing the actual recipe itself and then another 5 minutes checking on the cookies. Apparently, my camera decided it wasn't going to record any of that 30 minutes of footage at all. Completely blank. My mind is just baffled and I am so upset and I feel like a total idiot because I sat there, or I guess I stood there, recording a video, talking to myself. And it wasn't like I was talking to myself like I'm talking to myself right now, but I'm putting it online, so I'm talking to a bunch of other people. No, I was literally talking to myself, literally, like making jokes, and I had this awesome video for you guys, and I actually feel like a total idiot for what happened. So I'm still going to share the recipe with you guys. I'm just not going to show you how I do it. And like I said, I feel like a total idiot, and I apologize a million times over. It's not a recipe that I want to repeat right now. It is 11:45 at night. As it is, this video is going up completely late, and again, I apologize for that as well. We had a really rough night with my almost 1-year-old, who will be 1 in a few hours, and he got really sick last night, and we had to go to the hospital to make sure that he wasn't dehydrated. All is well, though, so that's great. And we're hoping that he's better for tomorrow and for Saturday, especially because his party is on Saturday, and that's what I made these cookies for. And again, I feel like such an idiot for not checking that it didn't record. Like, I checked and made sure it was recording, and it was. So I deleted the random footage that I had, and then I recorded it again, and the red light was on, and it didn't show up on my my SD card. So I'm so sad. It was an awesome video. Anyways, I'll still, like I said, share the recipe with you guys. So here we go. Alright, so this is a chocolate chip recipe video. And this is so awkward. Anyways, this is a chocolate chip recipe video. And I think these chocolate chip cookies are the absolute best. I love them. They're like the perfect combination of crispy and soft chocolate chip cookies, and they're not too chocolatey. Well, I don't make them too chocolatey, and they're just delicious, and my family absolutely loves them. They go nuts for them. Everyone that's tried them goes nuts for them. My mom was hesitant in trying them. I'm not even gonna lie, she was really hesitant in trying these cookies, but she turned around when she tried them and she was like shocked, because if you know me, when I grew up, I didn't bake, I didn't cook, I didn't do nothing. Like, the best thing I could cook was scrambled eggs and toast and Kraft dinner, and that's about it. Now I make a wide variety of foods, and I bake like a crazy person, so anyways, I'm going to stop babbling on and get into the recipe. So, you're going to need 1 cup of butter, make sure it's softened, 1 cup of white sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of hot water, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, I'll get into that one later, and 1 cup of chopped walnuts, which is optional, or any other nut that you want in it, which is again optional. So, your first step, number 1. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 175 degrees Celsius. Number 2, you're going to cream together your butter, white sugar, and brown sugar until smooth. So just mix it up until you get it to a nice consistency that it's all mixing together well and it's blending well. 3, you're going to beat in the eggs one at a time, and then you're going to stir in your vanilla. With the eggs, I don't have a preference of whether I add 1 at a time or I add 2 at a time. I guess it's just to actually mix it up, but I haven't found a difference in taste or anything like that, so I just add them both in at one time to save myself the time. Then I add some Clubhouse artificial vanilla extract, and that comes in like it's a fairly big bottle. You can get the small ones, but I just use the big ones because I make French toast with it and stuff like that. So that's the kind we use. You can use any kind of vanilla extract as long as it's vanilla extract, or any kind of vanilla really, so you're good with that. Alright, dissolve baking soda in hot water. Now it says 2 teaspoons of hot water. I add just a little more hot water because I find that when I add the 2 teaspoons and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, it's just not enough water to actually dissolve all of it. So I just add just a little more, so probably about 3 teaspoons of water and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You add that along to the batter and you stir it up, and then you mix in your salt as well. When you stir it up, it may be a little watery because you're adding an extra teaspoon if you do follow that. And don't be concerned or alarmed by that. Just trust me, continue on, continue on, continue on. Then after that, you're going to stir in your flour. I add my flour 1 cup at a time, but if you want, you can add it in all 3 cups at a time, half a cup at a time, 3/4 of a cup at a time, whatever you want to do, whatever way you want to do it, as long as you get 3 cups of flour in there, you're good to go. Now the chocolate chips, the recipe, like I said, calls for 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. I use about a cup, maybe a cup and a half, and it just varies for person to person. I don't use a lot. When I add the 2 cups, I just find there's a ridiculous amount of chocolate chips, and it's just way too much for me, so I don't like the 2 cups, so I don't add the 2 cups. I just add however many, and I stir it as I go, and then I just pour in a little more, and I stir as I go, and if it's enough, then I stop. If it's not enough, I continue on. Then you also add your nuts if you are putting nuts in. I don't, not because of allergies or anything, chocolate chip cookies aren't made for walnuts and peanuts and stuff like that. So the next step is to drop by the large spoonfuls onto ungreased pans. So this recipe calls that it makes for 24 to 48 cookies, depending on how many you actually, or how big you actually make your cookies. Now with the recipe calling for dropping by large spoonfuls, you can change that to small little balls, or the ice cream scoop spoons. You can use that as well. Whatever you want to use, however big you want your cookies to be, go ahead and add it. What I do is I just put a bunch in my hand, roll it together, and I put it on the pan. I don't really have a preference on how big they are. I try to get the most out of my batter that I can. But if you make bigger ones, you're obviously going to have a little less cookies. If you make smaller ones, you're going to have more cookies. If you make super small ones, like the regular, I don't know, maybe that size of a toonie. If you're Canadian, you know what a toonie is. If you're American, you may know what a toonie is. But the size of a toonie is probably, you know, a small cookie. You could probably make 60 of them, for all I know. I don't know. I haven't really tried tiny ones, but don't forget they do expand in the oven. So, yeah, don't make them too big unless you're just covering the whole pan. Then you're going to bake for approximately 10 minutes in a preheated oven, or until the edges are nicely browned. Now, this is a varied time. Start with 10 minutes unless you know for a fact that your oven cannot bake cookies in 10 minutes. It actually takes less time. If you know it takes less time, start off with 5 minutes and increase gradually. I start off with 10 minutes. It always varies with my oven. Sometimes it takes about 12 minutes, sometimes it takes 20 minutes, sometimes it takes 10 minutes. So it all varies. I start off with about 10 to 11 minutes, and then I check on them. If they're not browning yet, I put them in for another 7 minutes, and that's my increased time. It is about 7 minutes, unless the cookies are larger, and then I will put them in for 17 minutes to start, and then I'll increase it by about 4 or 5 minutes depending on how brown they are. So that is my chocolate chip cookie recipe. I am so sorry that it's up late, for one, and for two, that it's not an actual sharing a recipe with you guys. I feel terrible about that, and just know that you're going to get a good laugh at the fact that I literally stood in my kitchen for half an hour talking to myself. literally talking to myself, not even to a camera, just myself. So enjoy that laugh. Again, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to leave a question or comment to any of us, go ahead and comment on any of the videos or with your questions or comments. If you want to communicate with us through an instant messaging type program, go ahead and contact us on Facebook at Mom Talk TV. And if you want a guest spot, I just had to think about that. It's late, I'm tired. If you want a guest spot for this month or next month's topics or any month following, go ahead and send us a message on our Facebook page. That is, again, Mom Talk TV on Facebook. And we will speak to you guys soon. We will be back in about 2 weeks with new videos, and have a wonderful weekend. See ya!